Hey guys, and welcome. Today I want to jump right in and I really want to talk about something that I feel like has been coming up for a lot of my clients and a lot of people I've been talking to online recently. And that is letting your business feel easy, right? And this is something that I think a lot of people struggle with. It manifests itself in different ways, right? And it's really hard sometimes for us to get perspective on our own business. And it's really hard for us to think, well, it's so easy for that person over there, right? They're making so much money in their business. They have leads coming in left and right. They have so many social media followers. They, are barely working in their business. Why can't my business be like that? Why can't I be better, right? Why can't I, be making more money? All these things. And this is really, that comparisonitis, right? That we have, that shiny object syndrome, right? And so what we do is we look for, okay, how can I make their business looks good? How can I make my business look like theirs? Because naturally, if I make my business look more like theirs, I'm going to get that thing, right? But in reality, that is not what necessarily is going to make your business thrive. And it's not going to be what makes your business feel good and easy for you. Okay. And the thing that I always think about around this is connecting back to the why, not just the why of your business, but the why of your life, right? Like, oh, my business, I want to help. Here's who I help. Here's how I help them. That's really important to know about in your business, right? But why did you start this business? Well, I want to help such and such clients. No, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about how does this business serve you in your personal life? Why did you start this business? What do you want from this business long term, 10, 15, 20 years from now, right? And so many people don't get clear on the why in their business as it relates to them as a person, okay? So they're making all of these business decisions that don't connect back to that bigger vision of that why. And they wonder why it feels so hard, right? Why does it feel so hard to get more clients? Why does it feel so hard to scale? Why does it feel so hard that I'm still working so much, so many hours per week, right? And oftentimes that's because you're making decisions based on what you see in other people's businesses and in other businesses that you perceive to be successful, right? But what's going to make your business feel easy is making decisions that go back to that big picture why. So an example of this is, I know it's super trendy online to be saying, oh, I'm scaling, I'm growing, I'm getting up to multi six figures, $500,000, $1 million, multiple seven figures, right? That's super trendy in the online business space, right? But if you don't want to be growing a multi-million-dollar business, if you don't want to be managing large teams of people, right? If you don't want to be doing some of those things, even if you grow your business to that size, even if your business ends up looking like that, it's not going to feel good. It's not going to feel easy because it didn't serve the bigger why in your business, right? It's not, and this is where people get into the situation where they grow their business to six figures, multiple six figures. And sometimes people start to feel this so much sooner in their business, right? Maybe you're hitting 5K months or something. But if the things that you're doing in your business, the decisions that you're making in your business are not serving that bigger picture why, it's not going to feel good. And this is where burnout starts to come in. This is where you do not feel good about your business. You don't feel supported in your business. Your business feels like a job. And then what happens is people feel guilt around, well, I have a successful business. Why don't I feel happier about it? And they don't feel like they can pivot their business or burn it to the ground or sell it because who am I to get rid of this business that is financially successful? I couldn't dare, how dare I, right? But the reality is that's not the business that is getting you what you want, right? So if you want to be able to pay yourself a nice, good salary and you want to be able to do things in your family without really needing to worry about money, but beyond that, you want to work the least amount possible. so you could spend more time with your family, so that you can travel more, right? Well, growing a multi-7-figure business does not fit into that, and it's not going to feel good. Sure, we all want $1 million. I'm not saying that's not a bad thing, right? But it's over, in the end, it is not going to feel good for you. And that is why your business doesn't feel easy, because you're making these decisions based off the shoulds, right? Comparing your business to other people versus just letting it be easy. A lot of people feel it needs to be hard. They feel they need to work hard in order to make money in their business. They feel guilty if their business, it feels easy to them, right? If their business grows without too much work on their part, if their business is kind of growing and scaling without, them killing themselves day in and day out, you feel guilt around that, because you can't just let your business feel easy, right? And I think this is just something that is so, so important. So if you find yourself really feeling guilt around a decision that you're making in your business, think about, how can I just make this easier? How can I make this thing easier on myself? If you're stuck in a place where you are doing so much work, you have so much work to do, right? And you don't feel like you have the time or the bandwidth to outsource, think about, how can I outsource in a way that makes it easier? What would that look like? What is the easiest version of outsourcing to me that will get me what I need, which is taking some stuff off my plate, right? You don't have to build it up into this huge big thing of like, oh, I'm building a team, capital T, and so I need to sit down and strategize around all of that, and I need to think through that, and it's going to be this whole big thing, and I just feel overwhelmed already, so I don't even want to do it, right? What is the thing that you need, and how can you accomplish that in the easiest and simplest way possible? It's like taking the path of least resistance, which for some reason, a lot of us think that's bad or that's wrong, right? But oftentimes it's not. It's what you need to have your business feeling good for you. And don't forget, if the easy solution right now is not necessarily the best solution or the solution that's going to work for you long term, you're not married to that thing, right? Just because you start to outsource 5 hours a week to a low-level VA doesn't mean you have to use that VA forever for the rest of your life, right? But it's going to accomplish that bigger why right now, which is offloading some work, having more time to spend with your family, right? While still making a good profit margin and paying you. So that's the thing that's gonna help solve your issue right now, and that's the easiest way to do it right now. Then guess what? Once you have a little bit of that time, maybe you can use one of those hours to think about, okay, what does this look like longer term? What does this look like for the growth of my business, right? And you can think about all those things. But stop building it into a bigger thing than it needs to be in the moment, right? Make it feel easier for you. I give you that permission. Give yourself that permission to make it feel easier. So if you're working on making a decision this week, if you're trying to execute on something this week, if you're thinking about strategy, bigger picture or longer term, how can I make it easier? And just run that through your brain and allow it to be easier, right? That's not a bad thing. Don't assign weight to that thing. Don't judge yourself for wanting it to be, why can't it be easy? What's wrong around that, right? Why is it such a bad thing to have business be easy for you? You perceive it to be easy for all of these other people. Why is it such a bad thing if it's easy for you? Don't you deserve that, right? Haven't you put in the time? Haven't you been learning? Haven't you improving? Don't you deserve for it to feel easy for you? So I hope that's really, really helpful. And I just hope that this week you can really catch yourself and think about how you can make it easier for yourself this week.